the psalmist, David. So when you understand that once you start, you see yourself sitting in the God seat in triple darkness in the middle of nowhere, and you recognize and observe that position, you sitting in the center of creation. That's the mindset. You sitting in the center of creation and you creating everything. Okay, now you simplify the totality of creation. You got to bring it into your 3D model of yourself. I'm God pretending to be Rod. How am I supposed to behave as God in this 3D realm? This is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to rewrite who the system told me to be. I'm not going to be Rod. I'm going to be Morpheus Mysticus Magus. Morpheus Mysticus Magus is our alchemical name that was adopted by the character Rod in order to break free from the character Rod and become the embodiment of the liberating mind that I want to be, so that I can help other people liberate their mind. So more.
All right, family. We are back. Shout out to everybody. Let me get my Buddha more in this shot here. I need him to help me out. All right, we are back. We're closing out the week, family. Friday, we had a great week here on Black Magic 363. We are closing out the week. This is your gracious host, Radiohead Rich, and I'm back once again. The brother was here last week. I told Griff, I said, Griff, let's keep this momentum going. I noticed Trump done open up Pandora's box, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, Trump done open up Pandora's box, and the things that we see happening, family. I mean, wow, we're gonna have a great conversation tonight. Without further ado, welcome back to the platform. Professor Griff, welcome back, my brother.
Give thanks, good bro. It's always a pleasure to be back. Yeah, just kind of just breaking some things down, making some things clear, and getting some clarity and some perspective on just a few things. You understand what I'm saying? I think that's necessary, man.
Yeah. No, definitely. I did a live the other day with Red and Blue Pill. And one of the things Blue Pill said that was that really, I was like, damn, that's facts. With everything going on in the world right now, with the all these industries falling, whether it's the movie, the food industry, you see RFK in there making noise. Blue said, man, we getting everything we wish for. I don't think we could see it. We're not getting the way we expected it would come, but things is slowly but surely happening the way Dr. Valentine prophesied it would happen. Bobby Hemmett, yourself, with everything you predicted, saying this thing has to come down, this thing has to fall, this thing can't last like this forever. The things y'all said, man, it's happening, and the door is wide open, Griff. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of new power players made within the next 10, 15 years. And I just look forward to playing my part in this thing, man. I look forward to being the best version, the only version of who I am, and just getting busy, man. My mission down here on what they call planet Earth, man. I just want to get busy, Griff. I want to do my thing, man. This thing is getting interesting.
That's a beautiful thing, to get ahead of the so-called curve. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's sure curving. You understand what I'm saying? So just to get ahead of it. When I say get ahead of it, not all encompassing, but just knowing where you fit in it.
Yes.
Yes. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And while we're doing that, stay grounded and stay centered.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Stay conscious, stay awake, stay aware. For real.
Yep. So let me show you this real quick, Griff. To start out the show. Man, Chinese. Let me just read this, y'all. Now, this is interesting stuff. We could take this all types of different places, but like I said, it's opening up the doors for so many things to happen, and it's opening up our minds, the masses' minds, about what's really going on in the world, and showing us that this shit is really time to change and really time to influence change all over the world, y'all. Chinese factories are taking a trade war somewhere new. Guess where they taking it, family? Guess where Chinese factories are taking the trade war, family? To TikTok. China, China is taking the trade war to the new battleground. America's TikTok feeds. Family, did the government know all this shit was going to go down on TikTok? Because they've been trying to shut TikTok down, and so much shit's been happening on TikTok. Right. So let me just read this. Let me read this, family. Let y'all know, just in case you haven't been knowing what's going on. Let me read this for y'all real quick. Chinese suppliers have been flooding American social media this week, urging users to outflank President Trump's 145% tariffs on Beijing by buying directly from their factories. One TikTok user who goes by Wang Sen claims that he is the original equipment manufacturer for most luxury brands while standing in front of a wall of what appear to be ultra spendy Birkin bags. Now, them Birkin bags cost like 30, 40 racks, y'all. Yeah. OEMs work behind the scenes to make the products that other companies then sell under its own brand. Why don't you just contact us and buy from us? You won't believe the prices we will give you, he said in one clip. His video was later taken down by the app. In the meantime, though, DHgate, an online wholesale store infamous for selling Chinese dubs of luxury goods, has shot to number 2 on the U.S. Apple App Store. Wow. Another app, Taobao, Chinese OG e-commerce site, is at number 7. Shit, China, what the hell? It's highly improbable that these are real suppliers for brands like Lululemon or Chanel. Multiple experts told CNN. Legitimate manufacturers usually sign non-disclosure agreements, so it's unlikely that these creators are selling the real thing. But the videos are highlighting not only the anxiety that the tariffs are causing consumers, but also reveal how much shoppers rely on China. These Chinese creators are pushing the message that despite the White House insistence that their economic policies put America first, those same policies will cause consumers to lose access to their favorite products and pay more for them. So basically, and besides this, they went into the truth behind luxury. So let me read this part. So are the luxury handbags, watches labeled made in Italy or Switzerland actually produced in China? Our answer is neither a clear yes or clear no. Many luxury brands will pre-assemble some items of hardware in China before assembling the final product in France and Italy. That could be things like the complicated hardware or an expensive watch or the packaging for a designer tote. But there's no way to fully know because of the famously opaque luxury supply chains, Fry said. Even factories located in Italy and other countries still have links in China, such as foreign ownership or management. If you talk about very expensive handbags that involve a lot of manual work, they will probably be pre-assembled somewhere, and then they will be finalized, say in France, he said. So basically what that means is what they're saying and what everybody's saying on TikTok and these Chinese factories is that, yo, this $30,000 Birkin bag that you think is coming from the finest leather in Italy, we make it here, we ship it there, and they put a little tiny tag. Like let's say this is a tag. So let's say they assemble the whole thing in China, then they just put this little tiny tag. This is in Italy, this is in China, this is the bag. They put this Chinese bag and say made in Italy. So that's what they're saying. They're like, at this time, just buy from us then. They're like, fuck it. Just buy from us because we make the whole shit anyway. And it's getting ugly. People are saying it's petty. But I mean, like we said, this thing is getting big. Trump done opened up Pandora's box. Griff, talk to me about the latest thing you're seeing with these retailers. I mean, you know how bad these luxury brands has a hold on the mind of black people, Griff, and black culture. You know, I mean, a brother can have $5 living in the projects, man. He'll work his whole life just to buy a hat or a jacket or a bag from a designer. Then everybody's allowed to do what they want, but right. What I'm saying is that how much we crave. I guess I don't know if it's white validation is the right way to say it, but man, they got a hold on our mind. Griff, with what I said and what you're seeing all over social media and TikTok being the new battleground, Griff, let's start out with what you think about what's going on, my brother.
Well, in the outstart of what you laid out, you were absolutely correct. President Donald J. Trump set it off and set it in motion. While that was happening simultaneously, those other jaywalkers came after TikTok and wanted to manipulate it and control it. They outright wanted to buy it. Maybe they saw something coming that we're now experiencing, Brother Rich. Mm-hmm. So when Donald Trump set it off with the tariffs, I said it in the one of the last programs you and I were on together. Mm-hmm. I said, well, that's not necessarily the end of it, simply because these other countries are firing back, and it's almost like a backlash now. So tariffs aside, this is needed to stop. Is this needed to stop the luxury brands from ripping customers off in the name of brand loyalty? Because now the brand has no more weight with the American people. Why is that? Because the average person that's working for pennies are actually speaking up to their boss and to their managers, saying, okay, well, since these tariffs are coming down and it's going to cost more for us to export our goods out to America, and especially to America, why can't we just take on the customers ourselves and cut out the middleman? The middleman being big business people that Trump is trying to enrich their bank accounts and fill their bank accounts and fill their pockets. So they're all in cahoots. China, seeing this, basically like, no, you want to tax us up to on these tariffs to the degree of 245%? Can you imagine that, Brother Rich? 245%. They're trying to tax China. China said, no, we're going to fire back. Most of what you need to run your electronics, your cars, or whatever in America is made in China. Most of what they need for the luxury brands, whether it's raw material or manufacturing, is done in China. So China said, to hell with it. We might as well put all of the cards on the table. Yes, it is made in China. This is how much it costs. This is how much you're paying for it. You're being duped. You're being used. You're being taken advantage of. You're being sold a wet dream, and now China is turning the lights on, Brother Rich. Now the dream has become a nightmare.
Jeez. Do you, a lot of people on social media, when they hear about people spending $30,000 for a bag or spending a lot of money for luxury products, they immediately say that person is stupid. That person could spend money on this or that. Do you think that's a form of pocket watching? Do you think we should criticize somebody for what they do with their money? What's your thoughts on people who critique other people for spending? Let's say if you got a $200,000 Rolex watch. What is your thoughts on being conscious and having what we call luxury products, Professor Griff?
No, we shouldn't pocket shame. We shouldn't brand shame. We shouldn't label shame these people into thinking that they were foolish because they wanted to live up to a certain kind of status. They wanted to look important while, it's the idea of driving a Mercedes but still living in the projects. You pulling up, you're going home and you're pulling up in a brand new $80,000 car, but you're still living in the projects, which is not shaming them. I think it's making them aware, simply because, especially with rappers, especially with entertainers, a lot of times what comes with that is people the average person looking up to the entertainer, thinking that you have to have these particular things, dressing a certain kind of way, certain kind of brands, in order to reach a certain kind of status. Got to drive a certain kind of car. Got to pull up at the spot in the finest whip. You understand what I'm saying? To make people think that, you basically got it going on. You're living up to someone else's illusion of what they think success is. You understand what I'm saying? So it's the whole status thing. We say fake it till you make it. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of people are just faking it until they make it, and most times they don't even make it. Now, I understand what they're saying when they're talking about people that spend $30,000. Now, when I was watching this stuff online as it was developing, I was like, wow, I've never been that dude. I've never been that dude to spend a whole bunch of money on some sneakers or, you know, a watch, or I think the most I ever kind of came out of my pocket on something like that, I can honestly say probably a couple $100 because I'm just not the label dude. Now I got on some fly right now, Red Pill and Blue Pill sold me this. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I supported their brand, but other than that, I'm just not that guy. I never chased material. I never wanted to live a certain kind of way. Everyone's comfort level is different, Brother Rich. What you think is comfort may not be comfortable for me. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't always feel that you had to spend a lot of money for these particular things, and I didn't. I'm from Long Island, New York. I made my way to Chinatown. I made my way to the Bowery. I made my way to Delancey Street to buy clothes and this kind of thing. You understand what I'm saying? I bought my stuff from the Jaywalkers. Oh, you could always make a deal on Delancey Street. You could always make a deal in Chinatown. Now, until brand loyalty, which I mentioned in my book, The Psychological Covert War on Hip Hop, I talked about brand loyalty when I talked about hip hop and the rap artists. We are loyal to brands, and we've always mentioned them in the songs. Like we've always mentioned Donald Trump in a certain period of time. You understand what I'm saying? Being fly always came with mentioning brands. But let me say this to you on the psychological level, Brother Rich. You and I both know, and I'm sure Red Pill and Blue Pill probably touched on this whole idea of neural marketing. I think the initials are fMRI, if people can write that down. fMRI, neural marketing. And it's associated with brand linking a brand to a celebrity endorsement, linking a brand to a entertainer, linking a brand to a sports guy, linking a brand to a rapper. So this whole idea of neural marketing is used to map brain activity while participants are exposed to the marketing stimuli. So it stimulates you. You remember the artist wearing it in the video. You like the artist, you like the song, you want to be like them. So we go all out to save the money to buy those clothes, to buy those sneakers, to get that chain or whatever. And these people lie in wait for us, Brother Rich. They know we coming due to neural marketing. The neurological pathways that they control in our brains, Brother Rich, sends us right back to them because we want the status. We want to be, we see ourselves as the rapper stepping out of the Benz or the Maybach, whatever, dripped in Gucci. You understand what I'm saying? Looking over $3,000 glasses at some chick's booty or something. You understand? They remember that because they program your neurological pathways. And you start to see yourself as that particular individual. So they work and they work and they work on us and they work on us because they have millions of dollars to do this. Black brand trying to sell a white reality is not going to be successful. I'm going to say that again. An up-and-coming black high-end luxury company brand is not going to have the success that a white company is going to have simply because they're selling a white status symbol to black people. Now, these luxury companies, they don't target the rich. They target all of us that are poor that want to look rich, Brother Rich, because you know the rich don't show you how they're rich. They don't show you their wealth. They'll pull up in the raggedy Honda with some jeans with some holes in it and a T-shirt. Right. Mark Zuckerberg does this, and a few other people do this. You understand what I'm saying? Steven Spielberg and a few other people, because they don't wear their wealth like that. You're not going to see them at the fat, thick, dookie gold chain with the diamond encrusted bracelet to match. You're not going to see this from them because we're trying to be rich while these people are wealthy. Now I understand what you're saying. They're saying, well, why are these people buying fake knockoff stuff, trying to look like they got the real stuff? Because they can afford the knockoff stuff. They probably can't afford the real stuff, Brother Rich. You understand what I'm saying? When you start talking about a bag costing $30,000 as opposed to getting it in Chinatown in New York for $80, You understand what I'm saying? So now you can look like you dripping in Gucci or Louis or Chanel or whatever, and you don't have to necessarily pay 6 months salary for it. And it's a very real dynamic. And it's happening every single day. I really feel sorry for them people, Brother Rich, that have spent all of that money on these products, because I knew a long time ago, growing up in New York. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, I'm sure you knew. Because Africans be selling it uptown, midtown. And I'm like, he's like, brother, listen, it's the same material, same quality. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just selling you this one without the logo. It's the same bag. So when I mentioned the knockoff to somebody, they said, well, you do have to take into account that is some good quality material. I said, well, the knockoff is good quality material. It's coming from the same factory. Just without the label.
Right.
And without the $5,000 price tag that comes with it.
Why do you think, a lot of black people, you kind of just mentioned this, a lot of black people try to develop luxury brands and it didn't succeed, or, just fashion brands that cost a lot. And, the black people didn't buy into buying black brands that cost a lot of money, so a lot of them, it just didn't work out. Why do you think Kanye was so able to be successful with his fashion? Out of everybody who's attempted it, I think Kanye has been the most successful in the fashion industry. Why do you think, what did he do to be so successful?
I think he was in bed with those people. And if you want to sacrifice your health and your mental health, then by all means, if you want to get that close to the point where you take advantage of their structure and their infrastructure, as far as national and international sales are concerned, then by all means, be my guest, do your thing. But we see the outcome. You understand what I'm saying? We see the price that you have to pay for being in bed with them people. And that's a heavy price to pay when, you understand, you got to run the risk of getting drugged. You understand what I'm saying? To stay alive. And then at any given moment, you can spaz out. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the price that he had to pay. So when we talk about the success rate of individuals like Kanye West, let me ask you the question: how successful is it?
Whew, man, not that successful at all.
I wouldn't want to risk my mental health.
I like how you put that. And listen, Griff, a lot of people don't remember this, because with Diddy right now, all people could think about is the him being freaky and all that shit and bisexual. Before that, a year before that, he was going through some major problems with Diageo, the company that produces the spirits that he sells, Ciroc. Yo, Griff, I remember he was at, I'm sure still on their Instagram, Griff, because you're talking about mental health and the price you got to pay for working with these folks to seem successful to the rest of the world. Yo, Griff, I swear, if you go back to, what's this, 2025, 2023, you probably see it on Earn Your Leisure's Instagram page. Diddy was on stage. He was at Earn Your Leisure, and he told the world, he was like, yo, I'm going to tell y'all something that, is not usually talked about. And he started talking about Diageo and how they wasn't planting the plants or whatever for the Ciroc. And before that, he did an interview with Earn Your Leisure. I don't know if it was backstage, but it was somewhere, and his leg was shaking, Griff. He was talking, and his leg, and I'm like, what? I said, what drugs is this nigga on? But now, looking back at it now, I can see the nervous condition that he was in, because those are some gangsters. So if you're going out there talking about them, I know Diddy knew he was up against some shit. And in fact, 50 said that a lot of the sexual allegation stuff that he's going through is a result of him talking out against these white folks that he was working with in this liquor company. So the mental health these brothers go through that for working with them, Griff, you ain't lying about that, man. You ain't lying.
Yeah, right. Because once they open up that back room and that door for you, and you see, wow, I can take advantage of all of this, and I could be a millionaire, and I can kind of fly where I want, my yacht, my plane, my whatever. Most people, Brother Rich, cannot handle that. But let me press the pause button on that and backtrack to your last question in reference to Kanye West. we do have to give it up. He did have an insight, and he did look forward, and he do have a skill set, and he does have an eye for fashion and music. We can't take that away from him. But he did say he'd rather work with homosexuals because the homosexual just has something in them that they make fashion look and sound good. He understood that you might gaze at certain shapes and certain insights and effects in advertising through the eye traffic and eye tracking. So they might make a commercial knowing that they could track your eye and what colors draw you in. And then how the neural marketing revolutionized packaging and commercials and film and all this other stuff. Brand placement in films, brand placement in songs and that kind of thing. And they study this and how they're going to boost the efficiency of this thing called fMRI. But they never go and let you see what's going on behind the scenes. Right, to let you know that, yeah, they're doing that up front, but behind the scenes, really. But then behind those curtains are Chinese manufacturers manufacturing all of this stuff. So by the time it hits Europe, France, and all these other places, and like you said, they stick the tiny little label on it saying made in France or made in Paris or made in England. We're buying it hook, line, and sinker simply because we all know the saying, white folks' ice is colder. And as long as we're getting it from them and it has their name on it, yeah. Brother Rich, you know how many people end up in jail behind these brands? Robbing and stealing to get them, to steal them, to do whatever, to buy them for your girl or for Christmas or whatever. You know how many people's lives have been lost? You know how people's lives have just been interrupted? A bag or some shoes or a watch or some glasses with these people's names on it. You follow what I'm saying? You know how many luxury brands done waxed fat off African prints? Stealing African prints from Africa. You remember Ashwa Kwesi's wife, Mary Rakwesi? She did a whole thing on fashion.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So the whole idea, we used to laugh when it says made in China. Like I told you the last show, this dude bragged about having a blow-up doll laying next to him. He flipped it over with the smack the blow-up doll on the ass and looked at the label and said made in China. He got mad because he was a MAGA. You understand what I'm saying? So the whole idea of made in China, it means something different. We can now say made in China but stolen from Africa. Louis Vuitton, Stella McCartney, Burberry, Balenciaga, Versace, Oscar de la Renta, all these companies, man, borrowed the patterns and the prints from African tribes. Took those prints now, and then went and patterned their designs after them. Here we go back to the neurological pathways now, the neural marketing. We instinctively and subconsciously wanting to get back to who we are as a people. We're attracted to that because that's tribal. And we bought it hook, line, and sinker. God forbid it's a celebrity put it on. Oh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap after that, Brother Rich.
You know, all of them is the same tribal symbol. If you really, Balmain, Fendi with the F, Versace, all of them is really the same thing, just a little slight different variation. But they all have the same tribal symbol, y'all. So yeah.
Right. So now you have poor people in the factories making it. It goes through the hands of rich people to sell to poor people. Luxury brands are not for the rich, Brother Rich. They don't wear that. They might wear it on the runway, but it's not for the rich. It's for the poor people to buy that stuff because they want to suck you dry of your money. It's not for rich people. We buy things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't like.
That's insane.
That's insane. So let me tell you. Somebody said to me, Professor Griff, you think this is a social experiment? And this was earlier today. So I came home. I'm sitting, before I even turned the computer on, I'm sitting thinking what the brother said to me.
Yeah.
I said, well, let me go down that path and let me see. Guess what I ran into?
Who?
The Payless prank. Did you see it?
Oh man! Oh, I wish I could play it, but it's copyrighted. Yo, they got them people pay lesser, or I forgot what they call
Yeah,
it.
they call it Palessi. Palessi.
Oh,
They
tell the
took the
people what
name.
it was.
They took the name Palessi, Payless, and just put an I on the end of it and called it Palessi. A firm, marketing firm, went and commandeered a store, redid the whole entire store, hired people to come work, fed them a script, and invited designers to come in and check out the new luxury line called Palessi, and all it was Payless shoes. It was a social experiment. They pay. Listen, the shoes were $35. They ended up paying $800 for these shoes because they just thought in their minds, they were tricked into believing that this is a new luxury brand, but they were nothing but Payless shoes. And they got duped and tricked into spending hundreds of dollars for a $35 pair of shoes. At the end of the experiment, they was given the shoes free and they was refunded their money, but they was duped and tricked. This is what goes on with the masses of our people. Payless prank, they can look it up, end up being Palessi, a high-end fashion luxury brand that didn't even exist, Brother Rich.
Man.
It was a social experiment, man. Indeed. So my question is, are we living the social experiment and did China wake us up and is now the dream over? Did China shake us and be like, look, it's a social experiment. You just buying someone's story. The brand ain't nothing but what we make. Thank you. Yeah, there it is.
Fake luxury shoe store prank proves luxury is just perception. Family, I wish I could play the video, but it's copyrighted. But the people who were shopping were like, "Oh my God, I can feel the quality. Yes, this is so luxury. I love it." I mean, they was just talking out their ass, not knowing that it's Payless. It really shows you just how powerful marketing could be, man. Just how powerful marketing could be. Wow.
Right. There's a book by Naomi Klein called No Logo.
No Logo?
This woman goes deep. And she already warned us and let us know that, look, what you're paying for is just basically someone's rag to riches story. Do you understand what I'm saying? She says, if I showed you 3 bags, how do you know which one comes from Walmart, Target? You understand what I'm saying? Or the actual luxury brand? You can't even tell because it's the same bag. You're buying the story. You're buying the status that you think comes with you carrying that bag. Now, how many entertainers and rappers and movie stars and actors got robbed at gunpoint for these bags? I think Jennifer Lopez and a few other people got held at gunpoint.
But Griff, you know what's interesting? Beyond the bags, right? And beyond the shoes and everything we're talking about, people been saying that diamonds is one of the biggest scams ever.
Yes.
It was a huge marketing campaign by the De Beers, but diamonds are in abundance all over the earth. It's not a rare crystal or something like that. You can find that damn near anywhere, but they limit how people who can explore the earth for diamonds, and they act like it's so rare, and they up the price for, and they had huge campaigns around getting married, and diamond is a girl's best friend, and this or whatever. So they say even diamonds, Griff, is like buying a diamond is like you got to be a goddamn fool to spend that much money for diamonds. Have you heard about that, right? What,
of course, yes. Yeah, and I learned that early on. So on my 3rd marriage, I'm like, nah, man, we got the number 1. We got a tattoo.
Yeah.
You understand? No, we just not. Nah. Diamond ain't gonna be this girl's best friend. You understand what I'm saying? No. No, not at all. But so I understand that it's the marketing, it's the promotion, it's the $1 million ad that plays over and over in your mind, and then you hear it in the song, you see it on the commercial, you see it before your favorite movie come on, you'll see it on the billboards when you're driving, you hear it on the radio. You understand what I'm saying? And now you become the brand. I'm gonna say that again in English because maybe I said that too fast, brother Rich. You become the advertisement. You are the brand now. You come out of the womb branded. Nike on your butt, Dior on your arm, tattooed on your arm, Gucci on your elbow. You understand what I'm saying? Adidas across your forehead, Balenciaga across your chest.
Yeah.
You got designer diapers, man. They got goddamn designer toothpicks.
Yeah, it's insane,
that,
man. It's insane. I mean, but Griff, so let me ask you a question. So with black people seeing all this happening on TikTok and the Chinese manufacturers and the world changing so fast right in front of us, will this influence people to do more business globally with China and other countries and think more as think more about cutting the middleman out and just doing business directly or import export business? Do you think is this going to have an impact on that market right there, Griff?
I said it on the last show. Apple took 5 gigantic planes and flew the iPhone 16 into America. 5 planes. Now, if one plane could hold 150 or so passengers, right? Can you imagine how many iPhones you could get on 5 planes?
Yeah.
So if they are doing it and they understand it, the average person is going to say, you know something? No. Let me tell you something. There's cats I know already that's been doing that, Brother Rich. You understand what I'm saying? Cutting out the middleman. Let me deal with China myself. No, wait. Let me be transparent. I got a Chinese connection, like a mother. You understand what I'm saying? That they deal directly with Professor Griff. You understand what I'm saying? I always get samples in. I want top quality. My Professor Griff, Public Enemy Professor Griff hat with my name inside of it. That was top quality because I'm not going to sell no junk. You understand what I'm saying? No fake nothing. You understand? But cats like myself, independent businessmen and other people that I know are dealing directly with independent business people in China that got the connection to the manufacturers and the factories. You
ever did business with Alibaba? You ever went on the Alibaba site?
No. I didn't want to do business with the big companies because let's be real, Brother Rich. This whole idea of fast fashion and the real cost of fast fashion, a lot of that stuff ends up in a landfill somewhere.
Yeah, I've seen the video.
Exactly, and a lot of people are becoming more environmentally conscious.
Yeah.
And friendly, so they're shunning a lot of this stuff. And then cats my age are making frequent runs to the goddamn what's the name, Brother Rich? To the what's the place where you drop off your old clothes?
Salvation Army.
Yeah, or Goodwill.
Goodwill. Okay.
So what I did was I stopped doing that. I connected with some African brothers I know, and I take bags of stuff to them every week. Look, me and my wife, my children, we don't want this anymore. There's some good stuff in here. Here you go. When you going back to Africa? Thank you, brother. Thank you, Brother Griff. I'm going back in 2 months. Brooke, I'm going to bring you 5 more bags. Let me know before you leave. Here you go.
Right.
He sort through the stuff, clean it, wash it, iron it, fold it up. He takes an extra suitcase over and gives the stuff away.
Hey, Griff, do you think it's possible to have a conscious high luxury brand, like a conscious high luxury, like let's say if it was a clothing line, a shirt line, or something like that? Like, do you think that's something that people will buy into, the idea of spending a lot of money on something that had like you see my shirt says I am, a conscious appeal to it? Or do you think that's something that people would never? Because I remember the brother, I don't know if you remember the brother Ra Omar. You remember that brother? He had the handbags. Conscious brother, the Kemetic handbags.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And
I think he's in he was in and out of Philly at one time. New York and Philly. I bumped into him in Philly. He's probably not out of Philly, but I bumped into him in Philly, and I seen a brother that's doing that same thing now. There's some bags that shape like Africa and other places, man. That was really good material, but them bags were expensive, man.
Yeah,
very expensive.
What now? What's your thoughts on that? Expensive bags that represent our culture, made by Black people. Do you think that's a direction some of us should go in? We should have, we should be players in that market, that luxury market, or do you think that's white boy territory? He do that shit. He has overpriced bags that, you know, and that's not part of our culture or never was part of our culture. What's your thoughts on that, Griff?
Well, luxury doesn't necessarily mean overpricing everything, Brother Rich. Luxury doesn't necessarily mean you can't be environmentally friendly. Luxury doesn't necessarily mean only the rich can afford this. Luxury doesn't mean the small, insignificant little peasant that's putting this stuff together in some unknown country somewhere that can't even afford shoes is putting this stuff together and they get peanuts.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily mean that. If we redefine what luxury is, then everybody in the chain, Brother Rich, can eat.
Mm-hmm.
Like they said in the movie Paid in Full. We all can eat. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? We all get King Simon said okay. But everybody can eat, bro. So the whole idea of luxury, this is luxury to me. Now, can I wear this to a high-end kind of dinner, whatever? No, but I would say to Red and Blue Pill, listen, can y'all make me a suit jacket like this and make the logo a little bit more subtle? You understand what I'm saying? In a Professor Griff military style with some nice, you know, and a shirt to match it. I could put some cufflinks in with a collar. And I could go looking, you know, to the dinner or to the award show. I'm sure they can do that. Do people have to suffer on the other end for Red Pill and Blue Pill to give me something like this? No, they don't. Can everybody eat? Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, this is wow, man. This is something that's real interesting. It's real, like I said, family. I just see what's going on in the world, and I'm like, I know, but in my mind, I'm like, wow, this is really happening in real time. Like I've heard everybody talk about this for so long, y'all, and I'm like, it's happening in real time. We seeing Donald Trump just destroy everything in real time. We seeing industries fall into music. We seeing Kanye talk about them folks that it didn't. I'm like, what the? I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So I want some input from y'all. Listen, family, because I want some input from y'all. If y'all would like to join me and Griff and ask a question or a comment, click on the link. If you want to come on here with us real quick. Because this is y'all don't understand what's really going down, man. This shit is going down in real time right in front of us. We got somebody in the White House who's talking shit about all the shit Sabian and Dr. Africa, you know, the food dye. And I'm not saying RFK is the savior and he's gonna, but just the fact that somebody's in there right now trying to eliminate red dye number 40 and this, and he's talking about the you know what, the thing that got everybody. The Jabberwocky that got the fact that we got somebody talking about that, man. I think he just got in trouble yesterday, Griff, for making a comment on autism, and people got real bothered by his comment. He was saying how there's not a lot of adults who have autism. That he was basically saying autism is something new that has hit the scene, and he was correlating it with that thing that we was just talking about, and a lot of people are upset with him with that. But family, so much things are changing, man. I'm hoping y'all really just use your creativity, man. It's time for all the creative folks to come out here and really show their ass, man, because it's our time. But yeah, the link is in the chat. King Simon, if you want to come say something, also let me know. But the link is in the chat. If you would like to join and make a comment or a question, I just think it's one of them type of shows where I'll just love to hear feedback from y'all in person. Let me ask you something, Griff, real quick. Just a personal question, Griff, because I know this is one of the reasons people get certain fashion things or spend a lot of money on fashion, and sometimes I have spent money on something because I'll be like, Griff, I'll be like, I'm gonna get that because you know why? I know I ain't gonna see nobody else with it, and I don't. Sometimes I felt, especially when I was younger, not as much now, but and I felt like I didn't want to wear what everybody else was wearing. So if I'm in Harlem and I'm in the hood and everybody else is wearing something, if I felt this was my mind, I felt this. If I bought something expensive, Griff, it would price out a lot of people from being able to get it. Therefore, I could stand out and I could be unique. So that was my mind frame sometimes, Griff, when it came to buying certain things. I want to ask you your opinion. I know some people may feel that way right now. What's your opinion on that mind frame where you're buying it because you feel like majority of people can't afford it, so this is your way of standing out? What would be your thoughts on if you're somebody you know expressed that to you, Griff?
I would say roll your mind back. 1700s, 1800s.
Okay.
And you was a freedman. You was a freed man, right? You were no longer you were no longer a slave. Would you have bought slaves just to show that you're different?
No.
Precisely my point. We did things in the hood that we always showed that we were different. Look at the cars we drive and what we do to them. We'll buy one way. Yo, by the time my homie gets a hold of it, you understand what I'm saying? With the rims, with the skirts, with the whatever. Oh yeah, it's something totally different, man. You understand what I'm saying? Because we've always did. That's who we are as a people. You understand what I'm saying? Do you remember taking the patch off the Lee G's and wearing it on your pants leg? Do you?
I remember that. I never did that, but I remember that.
Right. So all of the things that we made popular, Adidas wasn't doing a goddamn thing until Run DMC made it popular. Am I right or wrong? We was wearing Puma. What was the other one? Pro Kids. It was the tire companies that didn't know what to do with their old rubber, so they went into the sneaker business. You follow what I'm saying? So yeah, so we made these brands popular. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, we made Chuck Taylors. All the West Coast cats made Chuck Taylors popular.
Right.
We did that. Anything that we touched, Brother Rich, we got that magic, man. We got that melanated magic we put on it, man. Anything we touch, man. Trust me, anything we touch. Cadillacs. As soon as the black man got a hold of it, it became a popular thing. You understand what I'm saying?
But Griff, so what? Let me say. Are you saying? So you saying, all right? We're gonna use Cadillacs as an example, Griff. As soon as the black man touched it, it became a popular thing. But what if the black man touched the Cadillac, but it was also owned by a black man? Would it have been popular the same way it got popular by a black man touching it owned by a white man? I don't know if I said that the right way.
Unbeknownst to you and I and most people, but a lot of the things that we use every single day in our homes were owned by black people, but white people stole the patents too. You follow what I'm saying? Songs that are out now, some were stolen. Some melodies and riffs and this kind of thing was stolen. So yeah, so you're saying knowingly owned by black people?
Yeah, knowingly, yeah.
We don't know who the hell who's Christian Dior. We don't know the Louis Vuitton people. We don't. You understand what I'm saying? We know what was fed to us, and the narrative and the story that was fed to us, that brainwashed to make us think that we had close proximity to white people if we wore a certain brand. Can you imagine that? You wearing a certain kind of makeup. Nobody even know who the goddamn makeup is from and for until you say it.
Yeah. And
you wear it just because. Don't need it now.
Right.
Because with your black melanated, carbonated skin, you got every complexion, every shade, every whatever, but you still putting on makeup on the runway because it's made by some white European from Paris somewhere, and all of a sudden now you give it its validity because you have a close proximity to white people and power. Because you think, but because you're wearing this belt or a scarf or a dress laced in diamonds is from some fashion dude in Paris, you have close proximity to power. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Griff,
You're just
let
a
me
walking, breathing mannequin. But go ahead.
let me bring this sister on real quick. I want to see what the sister got to add. Tamara, are you there, Tamara? You're on mute.
Hey, brother Rich, how you doing?
I'm good, Tamara. What's going on? What's on your mind, Tamara?
Yes, sir. This is a very interesting build.
Uh-huh.
China has really took the bullhorn and they have alerted the people. I feel um,
Uh-huh.
it's time for something new and interesting, something refreshing to the palate. And the European style isn't cutting it anymore, nowhere. I mean, at all. We put these brands on and this designer stuff on our bodies, and we don't know the intention behind, what the designer has in their mind. We have
Mm-hmm.
to be more conscious and aware, and I think that we're getting ready to take the world by storm. China's just putting us in a position,
Woo.
like I said, using that bullhorn to wake the people up. And unfortunately, there's not too many people that will do that. But who better to do it than China, because they hold a lot of power as America is concerned because of the debt that America has obtained falsely.
Indeed. Powerful, powerful. Griff, you want to comment on that real quick? What the sister just
No.
said?
She is absolutely
Yeah,
correct.
absolutely. Absolutely.
China walked into the room and interrupted an American wet dream and turned the goddamn lights on here, which they trying to cover up. And China said, nope, get up, and pull the cover right off of them. And now we see them for who they really are. And who better to see them for who they really are than us?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
If not
because they
us,
hold.
no, I'm sorry, go on, sis.
Yes, sir. I apologize for cutting you out, but I do want to say this. I think that they're not just doing this for a political move. I think that it's the allegiance that they hold with the indigenous people, and that's been there since the beginning of time. And what that reflects is a reverse psychology, if you will, in the minds of the people.
Yeah, but sis, Brother Rich on the last show showed us a young brother in China pulling the cover off of him, letting us see China for who they really are. You understand what I'm saying? Now we're not saying all of China and everything they do is good, but we're just saying with this kind of situation, we're not going to be out of the thousands and thousands of dollars to wear somebody else's name on our body promoting this madness. No, not going to happen.
Right. The real question is, why are we uncomfortable with wearing our own names? That's what we need to get back into.
Thank you. And I think
Thank
that's
you,
what
Brother
Brother
Rich.
Rich was alluding to a few minutes ago. If an African brother with an African brand came up with a brand, would we wear it like we wear the European styles?
Right. And they ain't make that for us anyway. So it's very uncomfortable when we wearing these European clothes, and we're curvaceous, and we're made a certain way in the image of our foremothers and forefathers. We need to let go of those things. It's time for, like I said, a refreshment, not just for America, but for the world. We on the world stage now. It's time to wake up, y'all.
I'm glad
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for adding this energy, Tamara. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Brother
Peace.
Rich, I'm glad she said that, man. I bought some underwear from some African brothers. It's the best pack of 3 underwears I ever bought, man. You understand what I'm saying? It set me free. Yeah, I am walking around with goddamn Fruit of the Loops.
Griff, you were still wearing Fruit of the Loops? Oh, man.
Oh, man, I couldn't even. Yeah. Tamara just said it. We shape different.
Yeah.
My mama was a short, 5'4", damn near 200-pound, big booty country girl. You understand what I'm saying? This stuff wasn't made for my mama. She had 13 children behind that madness. You understand? I'm sort of saying to you, yeah, she right. We shape different. We move different. Brother Rich, look at the NBA uniforms prior to them letting the brothers in, and then look at the change. They changed the uniforms. They made the shorts longer, and they raised the rim higher, and they moved the foul line and the 3-point line back because black people. Tell me I'm lying.
Let me get to this next brother. Trigger to God, man. What's on your mind, my brother?
Peace to the God.
Peace to the
God.
God.
I'm just listening to the conversation. The conversation is deep. He's speaking absolutely.
Brother? It's powerful.
Oh man, I just tuned in. I was listening to the conversation. Everything Griff is saying is absolutely accurate, and it's true. We wouldn't wear those African clothes here in America. We are shaped different. Our vibrations different. Our frequencies different. So he's definitely speaking facts on that topic.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
So when they saw Michael Jordan leaping, like the brother just said in the chat, leaping from the foul line, the top of the key, they said, "Oh, we got the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and other people."
Right.
Remember, early when I was growing up, there was no 3-point line.
No.
They invented that because of us, and the rims were shorter. When the brothers came down, man, and started doing 360s in the air, ramming it backwards, they're like, "No, we got to do something about that, man." You understand what I'm saying? Right.
Upset.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, eighth man off the bench was doing that, flying from the top of the key.
For real, man. That's facts. Hey, but I appreciate you calling in, Trigger the God. Appreciate the call.
Love you, light.
All right, peace, my brother. Hey, family, what happened how did Carl Kani fall off? Remember Carl Kani? I know he was popping for a while in the fashion industry, and Tupac was wearing his stuff, and LL did a famous ad, a Gap ad, wearing Carl Kani, and people talked about that marketing tactic for years. What happened to Carl? Do you know what happened to Carl? Did he sell his? He must have sold his stuff.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. He sold it.
He had to sell it.
Yeah,
he had to sell it. Because that brother, no, LL wasn't wearing. LL was wearing FUBU. He wasn't wearing Carl Kani. He was wearing FUBU. That's what he was wearing. But Carl Kani, what happened to Carl Kani? I heard he sold it. He probably sold it. All right, let's get to another quick caller. We got Truth Seeking Lou. What's on your mind, my brother?
What's the deal, man? Peace to the gods, man.
Yes.
Appreciate both of you guys, man, from
give thanks.
The bottom of my heart. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Chicago, so that Jordan stuff and FUBU, you know what I mean? I remember my older sisters and older brothers was rocking that. We had a clothing line out here called Fashion Geek. And Kanye was actually rocking it when he first came out, but after a while, he stopped rocking it and did his own thing or whatever. But to touch on the build that we having, it's crazy how now it's like we living in a Simpsons episode. You know what I mean? It's like everything, like how they always say, everything that they put out in their episodes come to fruition. You know what I mean? It's crazy to see it in real time. So for you guys to be breaking this down and giving the information to the people how it is, we got to wake up. Our dollar is way more powerful than our energy, because when we put on their clothes, we also take on their energy. You know what I mean? So we attach that dollar mentality, and it is more so emotional. So when we put that on and we feeling how we feeling, we shouldn't even be attaching it to that, because we got it inside. We are the walking gods. We are the walking goddesses. You know what I mean? So I just want to put my little 2 cents into the bill. Shout out to King Simon. Definitely rock with King Simon and all that. But yeah, man, it's just crazy how we give so much energy to these people when we got it. We got that thing that's unexplained. You know what I mean? So that's really all I had. Like I said, I appreciate you guys. Been rocking with Brother Witch since way before everybody started now talking all this extra consciousness stuff, because it's a lot of fakers walking around because it sound good. You know what I mean? So shout out to Griff too, been rocking with Baba Griff for sure. So yeah, I want to give thanks and peace to you guys, man.
Yeah, what the brothers
go ahead, Griff.
What the brother's saying is absolutely correct, simply because we, like for example, we talked about Ibrahim Traore. Now the generals, black, they're pushing them to speak ill of the brother. Now they're starting to call him all of the names that they called Gaddafi before they assassinated him, unalived him. You understand what I'm saying? We have to be very mindful of that. What you just said is very important, bro, because we're deeper than the dollar.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? We're more powerful than the dollar. Traore is using the gold that's coming out of the earth to transform the people in Burkina Faso. You understand what I'm saying? And he's becoming the model in which other nations and other leaders are going to follow him. So I understand exactly what you're saying when you say that we're more powerful than the dollar. That's what comes to mind.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Thank you for that.
Thank you,
Hey,
guys.
thanks for the call, my brother.
Appreciate it, man. Love.
All right, peace, my brother. Yeah, I think another good point the brother brought up was the idea of taking on the energy of the brand that you wear. I mean, and is it possible, Griff, for a brother to be, let's say a brother's pro-black and he's wearing European designer clothing, and what I've heard certain brothers say is, and I want to get your opinion on this. There's certain brothers, a couple that I've seen, one that's out now, a brother named Smart, shout out to Smart. He's a battle rapper named Smart, and he got criticized for wearing. He'll have Louis Vuitton on from head to toe, or Fendi on from head to toe, right? The hat, the shirt, gold on, all of that, and people be like, man, you wearing that European shit, and he's saying, yo, this is how I hook the youth in. He said, y'all niggas don't know how this thing work. He says, this is why they listen to me, because they see me dressed like this, but I got a certain message. So it's a strategy that I'm using. And he's not the only. I heard Polite say that as well, when Polite was running around with all this designer on. So what's your thoughts about brothers who may talk, the pro-black stuff is coming out their mouth, but they got on European drip from head to toe, and they're saying, like, listen, this is how you get to the youth. What's your thoughts on that being a strategy, Professor Griff?
It's a strategy. It's a strategy indeed. I mean, all of us, if we're headed towards the number 7 and we just take different pathways to get there, I understand the brother's strategy. But the thing is, at the end of the day, we have to see where the brother is taking the people. Way beyond the look and way beyond what he's saying. I want to see the program. I want to see how he's going to transform the hearts and minds of the young people that will become adults. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't know the brother. I've never seen his stuff, whatever, but it's a strategy. Indeed, it's definitely a strategy, but we won't know until we see the end result. We won't know until we see those set of brothers that say, yo, I'm rocking with Smart. You understand what I'm saying? I remember him back in the day, whatever, what he was wearing and the way he came across. I dug that and I followed him, and now I'm in Smart's Smart class. I'm in his Smart writing session. I'm in his Smart whatever, his youth organization or whatever. And we're on our way to Africa. Beautiful, Smart. Your strategy panned out and it worked. But we have to see that, because other people have tried to do that and fell short. So yeah. So I would encourage Smart. If it's working, make it happen, Smart. Yeah. But it's gonna be difficult, like somebody just put in the chat. A sister's not gonna kick it to me with a weave on, talking about how natural she is and the food I should be eating when you got synthetic hair in. That's gonna be hard for me to swallow. But I'm an adult. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, but we have to see the end result. We have to see where Smart ends up taking some of these young people. But we cannot be a living, walking contradiction, because that contradiction has to be explained. But to a small degree, all of us are contradicting something, Brother Rich. You understand what I'm saying? All of us are a certain contradiction to a certain degree. But someone said in the chat, who's dressing you? Right now, the pills dress me today. You understand what I'm saying? Because I swear I got some from the discount mall. I got some warm-up pants on from the discount mall, and a red pill and blue pill hoodie that I bought. Yeah.
Indeed. Let's somebody said Carl Kani still doing fashion. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen his stuff.
I think King Simon said he sold a company.
Yeah, I heard King Simon say that. Yeah, I gotta look into that.
Right.
Somebody said Polite learned how to glitch the matrix. Yeah, so I mean, okay. Yeah, Griff.
Someone, you said it earlier. The brother said it from Chicago. He said, we become the brand now in what we wear. We take on that energy. So what is the energy of a person with $200 million? His company grossed $15 billion. You understand what I'm saying? And You're wearing his name. Trying to free. It's hard for me to even fathom. I don't even know how many zeros that is, Brother Rich. We take on that energy. So the whole idea of capitalism, brother, can we be black capitalists? Being rich while we know other people are poor. Can you walk by a homeless dude, Brother Rich, with 5 stacks in your pocket and not give him something, buy him a meal? I can't.
You know, I'm gonna be honest, Griff. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not as sympathetic, and I don't know if I'm, I don't, maybe there's not a wrong or right. I'm not as sympathetic when I see if I see a brother out there and I see this more in Atlanta than I have in New York. If I see a brother out there that's 21 years old and he look healthy, he look like he's ready, like he could move about and he's able to move. I'm like, man, this nigga better get out there and do something. Like, I'm not. If I see an older person, then I'm more sympathetic. But for whatever reason, when I see a young brother, I think that he's able to get out there and do what he got to do in this world. So I'm just not as sympathetic for when I see young homeless brothers out there. And I'm not saying that's the right way to think, but it's like, brother, you got your health, you got your youth going for you. You could go out there and you could get your life is far from over, brother. There's so much life ahead of you. You don't have to be out here on the street doing that. So sometimes I'm not as sympathetic for them, Griff. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I feel the same. I feel the same way. I would have a conversation with the brother. You understand what I'm saying? And it depends on where I see him. If I see him, in a parking lot somewhere, or even at the car wash or whatever, I'll put the brother to work, man. You want a couple of dollars? Here you go, yo. No. Even if my rims don't even need cleaning, yo, here you go, bro.
That's some OG shit. I like that. That's some OG shit. I like that.
Then I'll just I see where his head is. You understand what I'm saying? And if I could pass on something or introduce him to somebody or whatever. But I know what you're saying, man, because Cat asked me for a couple of dollars one time and he pulled out a new iPhone. I'm like, bro. He said, yo, you can cash at me. I'm like, I'm good.
A lot of hustling out there. Let me get to another caller because we ain't gonna be here too much longer. We got New Diamonds. Shout New Diamonds. What's going on, Queen? Good to have you back on the show. What is on your mind?
Peace.
Peace, you guys. I love this topic. I feel like it's just really time for us to come together as a collective. It's been a lot of people, complaining about, like you said, the fashion, just the industries, and we are the currency. We are the power. And I feel like that this is the time where we're remembering who we are. We're remembering our power, getting back in tune with that. And it's about the collective. We're more stronger when we're together. And if we come together and invest in ourselves, us being the first priority, then we are unstoppable, right? Going back to the blackouts, right? We do these blackouts and these people go out of business, or we come together as a collective to build a community and it grows. So I feel like this is just a great time for us to remember that and remember who we are, remember our power, remember our value, and invest in that. And don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to be the first one. Like Professor Griff said, shout out to the red pill, shout out to the black dot, shout out to the people out there starting their own businesses and investing in ourselves, investing in the community, because that's what it's about, right? So yeah, right. I love it. I love this topic.
Oh, give
New Diamonds. Let me ask you. Let me. Okay, Griff. Yeah, you want to?
No, I just wanted to say we need to start with understanding these unethical supply chains and start making ethical ones. Yes. Ones where we know where the materials come from and no one had to die and no one's grandma they're still using the bathroom in the woods somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? They need to be ethical. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead, sis.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you because it's kind of going back to, like you said, the ancestors, right? Our ancestors were the one picking the cotton. Our ancestors are the one in those mines picking out the jewelry, picking out those crystals in those cobalt mines. We're the ones, our ancestors, the blood, sweat, and tears are going into that. So we should be the ones benefiting off of that, not someone of a different descent, right? Not someone of a different culture. And I feel like that's what we have to get back into. Not being the middleman, being the main man, right? So I feel like that's what it's about.
So can I ask you a question? I don't mean to be too forward.
Yes.
Brother Rich said it earlier. Can the brand label, when I open this up, says made in Africa, can that transform us in our consciousness?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I that's what my brand is about. New Diamonds. I make my own jewelry. I do hand wrap jewelry. And my whole concept was about, we have all these rappers, all these celebrities wearing jewelry, but they all go to, you know, certain ethical groups to get their jewelry. You never see a black owned crystal jewelry or black owned crystal minor. And so I wanted to get back into that. And I feel like my brand has grown a lot. I have people like Willow Smith, Angela Simmons, Haley Bailey, who have bought my jewelry, but it takes time. It takes investing. It takes the community believing in that. And we hold the power to the name brand. We are the name brand. It's just us remembering that and restoring the power in the people who look like us. So that's what I think. I think that's what it's about. So,
yo, New Diamonds, you want to show us some of your jewelry now? You got anything you can show us?
yeah. So, I mean, oh my goodness, you're putting me on
You on the spot. You on the spot. You on the spot. And I'm soloing you. Come on.
Okay, so I have this beautiful jewelry piece right here. It's a Moldavite, handmade, wire wrapped. It is gold filled, so it won't tarnish. It's a real layer of gold. I do the whole, crystal bracelets. I make chokers. I sell beautiful pieces of jewelry, crystals. I don't have any pieces on me, Rich. Oh my goodness, I wasn't ready, but this is just some of my craftsmanship. You know what I mean? Just
Dope.
This is some of it. But like I said, if you go to my Instagram page, New Diamonds, NUDIAMONDS, you will see all of my beautiful work, all of my beautiful accolades. And it was not something that happened overnight. I had to put in time, blood, sweat, and tears to get there. Just like you said, anybody building up anything, whether it's vegan food, whether it's career, whatever career you're doing, whatever it's artist, or you're rapping, or you're being making beats, you're a producer. You didn't just start it getting famous overnight. You know what I mean? Whether you're making shoes, whether you're painting it, whatever you're venturing in, it takes time, but you have to have the community to build you up. Just like with your YouTube channel, you have to have a community. So that's where the power lies. The power lies in the numbers with the people. So that's what it's about. I'm all for us building up each other and working together. And So
can I ask you something? Do you play music while you're crafting your stuff?
Absolutely.
Good. I got a couple of songs to send you from my band called the Soul Ohm Collective.
Oh, I love it. Yes. I love playing high vibrational music to put those good intentions in the crystals. Just the vibe. It's all about the vibe, right? The vibe got to be good. So I feel like that's what it's about right now. We set the vibe. We set that market. We are the value. So we can't forget that. And I think right now it's like a bit light bulb is going off in the community where we're remembering, wait a minute, our dollar has power. We have to recycle that dollar within our community. That's how we keep the generation, the legacy going. So I feel like this is just a light bulb going off in everybody's heads right now.
Right.
I want to ask you and Griff, because I want to get the whole male-female dynamic answer from this question that I'm going to ask before you get out of here. And King Simon, could you post the sister's Instagram in the chat? New Diamond. Your Instagram is New Diamond, right?
Yes. I also have a website. It's newdiamonds.net. If you guys want to just check that out. But thank you so much, Rich. And that's another thing. It's not about coming on here and promoting, because I feel like it has to be authentic. It has to be genuine. But we are talking about brands. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It makes sense. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm just like, you know what? I've been putting in a lot of work to build up this African Black conscious brand where it comes to us investing in ourselves. We invest a lot in these other communities. Why not invest in our own? Why not build up our own? That's where it starts. And we have to believe in ourselves. We have that confidence. Confidence shines bright, and that makes other people want to invest. That makes other people gravitate to you and amplify you. So and then it's a us thing, for us, by us. It's not just a me thing. It's a us. It's unity. It's the community. It's the collective. So yeah.
All right. So let me ask you this real quick. Being that, a lot of us talk about us being influential, being powerful, being able to make or break brands. We've blowed up so many brands, from Adidas to Converse to Cadillac to Michael Jordan and Nike to what Kanye did. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. Why do you think we are so good at being influential, being the currency, all of this stuff? But to me, it appears like we're not that good when it comes to marketing, and other groups dominate that part of the business world. They will market, and me and Griff, we started out, you was talking about marketing. It seems like they dominate that shit, Griff. They mastered that. You tell a black person with a business, all right, I need you to have a $10,000 marketing budget set aside for you. They'd be like, shit, nigga, 10,000. I ain't putting them for marketing. So why do you think we don't take marketing as serious as other groups?
I think simply because we are the kind of people, we have to see something for our money every dime that we have, because every dime when you first start out is accounted for.
Yeah.
Every dollar is accounted for. And to say that I'm a new company, it's a new startup, unless I started out with 3 times the amount that it takes, and I do set a budget aside just for marketing, yeah, I'm gonna lack in a couple of other areas, man. You understand what I'm saying? And then nowadays, market to whom? Can I ask a question? I'm gonna give her space to answer that. What's the Super Soaker dude? The rapper.
Soulja Boy.
Yeah, who did he market to, and how did he market?
Kids, music, YouTube.
No, market.
Oh,
what was his market strategy?
Dancing. The youth. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? But
yes,
here he is now, and shortly after he did his thing, larger than life. Didn't have a label, didn't have, just kind of put it out there. So when we start talking about marketing, now, Brother Rich, market where? Analog or digital? What's your demographic? Who? When? Even nowadays, when I started studying marketing, as far as online marketing, it's what time of day you put it out, what day you put it out, who you're marketing it to, who's online, what traffic are you getting? Are your URLs getting redirected somewhere? Yeah, it's complicated, man. And then now, Brother Rich, with the algorithm, you know how many times I went to go look for stuff that you and I have done back in the day and can't find it?
Can't find it.
Nah.
Wow. Yeah.
I'll go look for stuff that I've done. They've taken it down, or they'll redirect my URL somewhere. You see, the algorithm plays that game. Facebook do it all the time. You go advertise something on Facebook, and they'll tell you for $5 more, we'll send it to another 1,000 people. You're like, where?
that part.
You understand what I'm saying? So the marketing thing is funny. It's truly funny, and it's kind of tricky. So to take 10 stacks, yeah. I just put out a song yesterday, Brother Rich, called Turquoise.
Right.
I sent it to the people I know and asked them to send it out to other people. Today, I got a check for $11. Do I take that $11 and give it to Facebook and advertise it to... Come on, bro. That's a tricky game, Brother Rich.
Okay. And New Diamonds, what's your thoughts on that, New Diamonds?
We can't be afraid to invest in ourselves. We can't be afraid to trust and have confidence and go for it. Gamble on yourself. We'll gamble on, like, people see, like, this goes back to Nike or any other brand. We'll spend $200 on some shoes, but when it comes to investing in ourselves, no, I don't want to, or that's too much, or it's all about self-worth, self-value. For me, I'm not afraid to gamble on myself. If I have the opportunity, hell yeah, I'm gonna invest 10 bands on myself. That's an investment on myself, and I know I'm gonna get tenfold back on over. And even if I don't, it's a learning experience, and some things are priceless. So I look at it as not being afraid to gamble on yourself and investing in yourself. And you're gonna either go hard or go home, or learn a lesson, right? So that's just my take on it. But it when it comes to other people, I think it's just their mindset. You know, people have to be open. And then, like Professor Griff said, it's really different with the monetization now and the platforms that we are on, because we're not the ones who are giving out the the payout. You know what I mean? So if you are working hard or you put something on a different platform and you put your heart and soul and you get $11, it's like, what the hell? You know what I mean? That's very discouraging. That breaks your confidence. That makes you not want to do it anymore. But if we have communities where we're circling our dollar, investing in one another, then you know what I mean? It's unlimited possibilities. We got to have these, what do they call it? GoFundMe's and investor tanks and masterminds within our own community, so we can start to see, like, we see potential in one another. Why not investment? Or I see that's a great idea. It kind of takes me back to the people who did Bitcoin before it was Bitcoin. You know what I mean? People were like, oh, that's crazy. Oh, that's dumb. Or I would never. What are you talking about? Now it's like, oh yeah, everybody has like, what? You ain't got Bitcoin, you know what I mean? So it's like kind of investing in these things before they get popping and not being afraid to invest in yourself.
Indeed.
No, go on.
No, I was gonna say I appreciate you calling so much, New Diamonds, as always. I appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all as well. Love y'all. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Yeah, Griff, man.
You put out a couple of albums, Brother Rich, and all the people that watch your show, you would think, damn, man, I'll put this out. Everybody that come check me out, and even the people that's going to check the show out later on, they going to buy it. It only costs yada, yada, yada.
It don't.
Yeah, Brother Rich. I put out a single the other day, $3. I got thousands of people that be bigging Professor Griff up watching this, watching my show, and I'm thinking, okay, I know I'm going to get at least 100 people.
Right.
Nah. $3.
Did you get at least 15 people?
No, bro. I got $11.
Right, you said.
So 4 people probably bought it, and Bandcamp took their money.
Yeah.
So now, what you say about marketing is key. Now I got to go on a marketing campaign and let people know, yo, Griff got a dope song, man. High vibrational. Talk about beautiful life. Talking about turquoise, talking about, how we are beautiful people, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I got to market it.
Yeah. Man, what a show, Griff. I definitely had fun, enjoyed the show. Shout out to everybody who called in and added to the conversation. Everybody added something important, and everybody brought good energy that reinforces that the change is happening right in front of our face. And we want to be on the good side of history. We want to be on the winning side, the side that just didn't sit down while everything was going down. We got to get up and be active. So I want to thank everybody for adding on to this build. King Simon, thank you, Griff. Before you get out of here, leave all your information so they can holler at you and get you some more sales on your single. So it'll be more than $11. We gonna support you today.
I'm humbled though with the $11, and I appreciate every dollar. You understand what I'm saying? Of course, you could get the brain tonic and the resurrection formula at Devi Tribe Wellness. That's www.devitribe.wellness. King Simon already put it up. And to get my single, I think I dropped it in the chat already, but I don't think it's showing up. I'll put it in the private chat to you, brother Rich.
Oh, I see it. Let me put it.
ProfessorGriff.bandcamp.com. The name of the song is called Turquoise. It's a beautiful song. I want people to support it. There's a few more songs next week that's going to follow it. And then probably later on next month or so, I'm going to drop the album. It's the Soul of Om. We're putting the soul back in the Om. Shout out to the Soul Om Collective, Rashida Ali, Jay Battle, and Ashia Karana, and of course yours truly, Professor Griff. But I want to thank you, Brother Rich. Really appreciate you. We're pouring the resurrection formula May 1st, so people can start pre-ordering it now. And of course, every time we do this, it sells out. So we're doing a double batch, and it's going to pour on May 1st. But I really appreciate you, Brother Rich, as always. And shout out to King Simon. Really appreciate you, man. And your audience, Brother Rich, is a very well-informed, intelligent audience, man. For real.
Indeed. Shout out to everybody who tuned in tonight. Monday, I believe, just to give you I'm taking a weekend off. Monday, I think we're going to be here with Mr. G and KT, the arts degree. Tuesday, Rod Hayes, and I don't know about the rest of the week, but I'll be back Monday and Tuesday. I'll be back. So make sure y'all tune in Monday and Tuesday. KT and Mr. G, and then Rod Hayes will make his return back to YouTube. With that being said, Professor Griff, like I said, I'm gonna come see you for the resurrection within the next 4 or 5 days. I'm gonna find a way to meet up with you somewhere, my brother. Keep up the great work, a great product. Him and Soleil have. Make sure your support. King Simon has been sharing the links the whole show. With that being said, we getting out of here. Griff, enjoy your weekend, my brother.
You as well. Give thanks, good bro. All
right, brother. Peace.
All right.
All right, family. I will see you on Monday. All right. I'm about to get out of here. Once again, shout out to King Simon. Let me see what else is happening in the chat. Shout out to my brother Precise. Any update on the tobacco market? Yeah, I told everybody who sent the donation. I appreciate everybody who support the platform, who sent the donation, and that I think we did the show Wednesday. I'm going to send everybody's gift because I'm gifting y'all this. I'm going to send everybody's gift out on Monday, USPS. Everybody should get an email tonight and tomorrow night asking for, definitely by tomorrow night, asking for your physical address. So I need the physical address to send the product to y'all. So everybody, who's this? I see. Shout out to my brother Q Reeves. I gotta get my brother Q Reeves back on here. Shout out to Q Reeves. I just got your text. I gotta check it out in a little while. Shout out to Q Reeves. But yeah, so I'm gonna send it out to y'all Monday. But I'm putting I'm putting it on hold for now. I'm creating my own labels. You know what I'm calling them, y'all? Radio Cigars. It's the best communication device out right now. It's the most advanced organic communication device that we have. They're called Radio Cigars. So I'm Radiohead Rich, and I got Radio Cigars. They're communication devices. So I'm gonna give y'all the update on them. I'm gonna be back up and running next week sometime. I should be up and running by the Rod Hayes show. Yeah, I should be up and running by Tuesday. But shout out to everybody who already got it. Like I said, I'm about to go enjoy one right after the show, matter of fact, because today's Friday. I don't have to take my son to school in the morning, so I can really focus and zone out and tap in with my higher self and my ancestors. These are ancestral communication devices, family. Like, this is the real deal. This is the real deal. So I'm gonna be, but wait till y'all see my labels I'm getting. I'm gonna have the labels real soon. They call Radio Cigar. It's real dope. But this is what I'm talking about, y'all. So the world is changing, and we got to go where we resonate and really make an impact and really do what we came here to do. For whatever reason, my spirit resonates with the whole tobacco thing. And there's some other things that I got coming up. I got some announcements, some powerful announcements. I've been telling y'all for a while, but it's been a little delay, but I got some powerful announcements for y'all. But yeah, man. So you just gotta, and you know how and this is what helps. So Griff said the thing about the cigars, right? You're able to tap in with your ancestors and the spirits, and you're really able to go within that to that universe. And that's where all the answers at. The answer is in listening to the silence. You got to listen to the silence, family. You really got to, they're screaming in my house. You really got to listen to the signs, family. You really got to listen to this, not the science, the silence. Well, the silence is the science. I said that on purpose. The silence is the science. So we got to really not just listen to the science, but really be absorbed by the silence. And so much will come to us, family. So I just really look forward to it. This venture. And people, and like I said, this is my gift to people who donate to the platform. Those who donate, make a certain donation. This is my gift, and I'm gonna set it up. It's gonna be nice. But saying that to say, everybody who got some, they will be sent out on Monday. But I'll have another announcement for y'all. You can't order tobacco from my channel. You could donate to my channel. You can't order tobacco from my channel. You donate to my channel. And I'm gifting people who make a certain donation to my channel, but you can't do any of that right now. That was just for that night, and those who were there for that night. And I'll be back up and running this next week. All right. But with that being said, man, like I said, man, everybody enjoy your weekend. I'm about to go tap in right now. Right now. So enjoy your weekend, family. Stay focused. Yeah, man, it's going down. Everything Bobby, Phil, all of them talked about is going down right now. But silence is golden. Yes, that's where the gold is at. That's where the gold is at. Silence is golden. Yes, yes, indeed. Silence is golden, indeed. With that being said, family, I will see y'all Monday. All right. Have a good weekend, y'all. Peace.